Hey, let's go. We got the brand new intro music. Used it on a video today. I just gotta keep using it. Love this music. Love it. Premise on the Beat. Go check out Premise on the Beat if you haven't already. Putting together a ton of good free music. Using on all my videos. All my 2K videos have Premise on the Beat. Go give them a like. This is the Iron Man Avenger music. Great intro. Great intro. Bring this back a little bit. We're gonna play a little Mario Party. We're gonna talk sports while we're doing it. It's a pretty chill game, so we got a lot of downtime. It's my dad's birthday. Put out a video for him, putting together his favorite players on a 2K team. Put that out there for him. So if you go check that out, go give him a like, let him know in the comments you wish him a happy birthday. That would mean a lot to him. He said he really liked the video. He might have just said that. I think he liked it though. Got Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, all his favorite Celtics. It's got Kevin Durant. It's probably the only modern player he has that he likes. I think what else. We'll talk some sports today. We got some sports topics that I can incorporate. Mario Party's pretty chill. Can't really do it when I'm playing 2K. We'll talk some sports today. Get that going. So let me switch this music over. Let me switch over. Let me grab something a little more chill. And Premise on the Beats Avenger mix. But first thing up, we got some new NBA games. We got some NBA games coming up tonight. We're starting with Cavaliers Knicks. Now, some of you might have come here through the short about my alternate reality Donovan Mitchell. Interesting concept, if it would happen. What's this? Okay, hold on. We'll get back to Knicks Cavs. Quinn Ewers named starter over Arch Manning. Ewers had a great spring game. I'm wondering, really, is this a surprise to people? Now I know Quinn Ewers started last year, highly ranked. Arch Manning from football's first family. I was under the impression that Quinn Ewers was pretty much guaranteed to start. He's an upperclassman, junior, right? He's a junior, and Arch Manning is a freshman. I would think it would be unlikely he'd start over Quinn Ewers, someone so highly built. But apparently, maybe a lot of expectation was Arch Manning takes his spot. I don't know. That was just what I was, like, my interpretation of the situation. But I don't know whatever all the Texas fans, all the college football fans were thinking. I might need to move my camera if I'm blocking somebody. Looks like Donkey Kong's going third. Yeah. Yeah, gotcha. So, might be a booster situation where maybe if someone sends a lot of money to get Arch Manning on Texas, maybe they're like, hey, what the heck, man? Where's my money going? I didn't put my NIL money, my booster money on Quinn Ewers. I want to see Arch Manning. Now, I mean, he'll have plenty of time to get going. He'll still have 2 years after. Quinn Ewers is almost surely going to the draft. And if he's not, that means I'm sure Arch Manning would start regardless. They're like, we got to get you out of here, Quinn. Quinn would probably transfer if he didn't go to the draft this year, after this season. Interesting topic there. And we got to watch out for that piranha spot. Let's see. In other draft underclassmen news, Victor Wembanyama declared for the NBA draft. Not really any question whether he would or not. but he made it official. He's going to the NBA draft. Everyone's hoping they win that lottery. Everyone would love to rig the lottery in their favor for Victor. Now, I think there are 3 NBA teams with the highest odds to get Victor. And those highest odds are only a 14% chance. So there's 86% chance that you're not getting Victor Wembanyama. Now, one of them is the Spurs. I think the other 2 are the Rockets and the Pistons. So, what is happening today? One thing related to one of those teams. The Pistons... Not the Pistons, the Rockets. The Rockets are saying they're in top contention to sign Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse was the coach of the Toronto Raptors. They fired him today. He won the 2019 NBA Finals when the Raptors went up against the Golden State Warriors. It was KD along with DeMarcus Cousins that joined that core group of Steph, Clay, Draymond. And that was when Kawhi was playing for the Raptors. And they won that finals after KD had the Achilles problem, Clay had the ACL tear. He was the guy who brought that team together. And they have already fired him. So he is in rumors to be the next Houston head coach. Now, this is kind of an interesting timing of news. Maybe it's just coincidence, but Victor declaring on the same day where a very good coach is rumored to be in one of those lottery spots. Very interesting. So if we see Houston getting that spot, that number 1 spot, I mean, something to think about. Oh, that's rough. That's what it feels like if you don't get Victor. Now, there's also been talks amongst our friends, Dalton in particular, wanting the Thunder to trade all their first-round picks for Victor. Assuming the Thunder don't magically get the first spot. One team of those 3, Spurs, Pistons, Rockets, that are maybe would be unlikely to take a giant package of picks would be the Spurs. A long history of a French connection with these players. Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, now Victor Wembanyama. So that's something to think about too, is like someone could trade up to this first round pick. It would definitely be the Thunder, and I can't really think of maybe the Jazz after all of their moves, trading Rudy Gobert and trading Donovan Mitchell. Maybe that is a potential move up as well. But watch the Spurs. If the Spurs get that pick, it may be unlikely that anyone trades up to get that pick from them. This may be what they've been waiting for, what Greg Popovich has been waiting for. People have been like, are you going to retire or not, Greg? And he has held off for a long time. Maybe this is his big plan all along. To finally get Victor, set them up for the future, maybe do a year with Victor, teach him what he knows, and then go off in the sunset. I don't know. Interesting situation there. The Pistons, I don't really have a storyline for the Pistons. I don't know if anybody can think of one, but I don't have one. Feeling this piranha plant? Gosh dang. Okay. One thing happening a lot lately, I don't know if you've seen, but all the NBA players are getting in fights. They're stomping each other, they're kicking each other. The refs think James Harden is punching players in the nuts as he drives by him. It all started with Sabonis. Sabonis is playing tough basketball, post-player basketball. I would call it. Warriors would call it dirty basketball. Warriors fans and players, except for Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney, the one big man on Golden State, is condoning it. He's like, that's just how you play in the post. So you had the whole Sabonis situation. You had the Draymond stepping on him. We don't really know how bad Sabonis is hurt. They had an MRI in his sternum. They think he bruised his sternum. The question is, how hurt is he really? We don't know. But we do know Draymond got suspended for Game 3 that they played. Which Game 3 Sabonis played. He's really not that hurt, probably. Draymond was suspended, though, and they still won because that made him mad. Yesterday, before this game, Joel Embiid gets dunked on by Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton tries to do the Allen Iverson step over. As he's stepping over, Embiid kicks his leg and knocks Claxton down. That gets technicals on both of them. Embiid is not ejected like Draymond was ejected. I guess they're saying Embiid's reputation is not the same as Draymond's, which it's not. It's not. Later, into the third quarter, James Harden tries to drive by somebody. It looks like he hits Royce O'Neal, I think, in the nuts. I don't know if he actually does, but Royce acts like he did. I don't know. But they kick him out. They give him a flagrant 2, and they kick him out of the game. James Harden gets kicked out for that. And it comes out today. Harden and Embiid aren't suspended. They're just getting fined. Interesting where you had a Draymond suspension one time for his reputation versus Embiid and Harden. Apparently, their reputations don't have anything to do with that. They get off with a fine. Nick Claxton later dunked on Embiid again, flexes on him, gets a T, gets kicked out, gets a second T, gets kicked out of the game. It's coming down to if you think people should be allowed to taunt. It's kind of an NFL thing too. Like, should they be allowed to taunt? How far is too far? If you dunk on somebody, should you be allowed to do whatever you want? I kind of think some of the best, I saw this from Shea Serrano earlier today. Some of the best dunks are followed by a great taunt. Scottie Pippen dunking on Patrick Ewing, stepping over him. You have Sean Kemp doing the double finger point. You have, who else? I don't know. I mean, Allen Iverson step over. Everybody wants to do Allen Iverson step over. It's just, you need to also be prepared to face the consequences of your taunt. Because Shaq dunking on Chris Dudley gets the ball thrown at him. Chris Dudley throws the ball at his head. You gotta be able to take what you dish out and be able to fight back immediately. I think it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, if you're gonna step over Joel Embiid, he's probably gonna kick you. You just gotta be prepared to take that. So, it's an interesting situation happening in the NBA right now. Everybody's a little chippy, getting that playoff hostility. And we're seeing the different reactions the league has to certain players. They're taking reputation into account. I don't know if they should, but they are. I mean, Draymond was hitting people all the time a few years ago. When the Warriors were first coming up, he was playing like that. And maybe lately he hasn't, but we kind of know what he's about. He's punching his own teammates in practice. We kind of know what he's doing. And now, a continuation of that, we're gonna see tomorrow the implications, the consequences of Dillon Brooks' actions. Dillon Brooks is a major antagonist lately to Draymond before this, and now to LeBron James. He's really bringing the heat with him. So, Dillon Brooks, kind of a Patrick Beverley along those lines of a NBA player. A lot of talk, not a lot of production, mostly runs on vibes. So I think he had 12 points last game. Two of those were threes where he made it, stares down LeBron, acting as if he just put up 40 on him. He says after the game, I don't respect anybody unless they put up 40 on me, as he puts up 12 points. Saying LeBron's old during game, doing some stare downs. I feel like LeBron got a little tired of it during that game. We're gonna see how he responds next game. Does he sit back and let his teammates feel the game out, get them involved? Does he immediately go after Dylan Brooks, start scoring on him? Gonna be interesting to see. Is that the next thing that turns into a fight, some fines getting handed down, any ejections? The whole league is kind of like moving towards that in these playoffs. And that's the next step up. Oh, I don't know if this was... What game was this? Hold on. It was not the most recent Suns Clippers game. It was Tuesday? It was Tuesday. Clippers Suns. Scott Foster is officiating. And Chris Paul has never won a game officiated by Scott Foster. A major conspiracy. The commissioner sends in Scott Foster when he needs Chris Paul to lose. So I think his record was about 0-14, something like that. He finally won a game. It was game 2. I guess they decided to get the monkey off Chris Paul's back, the proverbial Scott Foster-sized gorilla off of Chris Paul's back. Oh, dang, this guy made a hole in one. So they decided game 2's good enough to let Chris Paul have it. Oh. Get in there. Get in there! Oh, too easy. So Chris Paul now about 1-14 with Scott Foster officiating. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's a computer. That's why. Confused by that. Let's see. And I guess that's what they needed to power them through to a Game 3 win. The Suns are now up 2-1 against the Clippers, who are without Paul George, unfortunately. And Paul George will not be coming back in this series, so that might be a little too much for them to overcome. I think Devin Booker put up like 45 points in Game 3. Wow, we're doing pretty good. We got a star. We got 57 coins. Crushing this. Let's see. What else is going on here? Oh, hold on. We're going to bring in a special guest. Speaking of the Clippers, we're going to bring in a special guest. All the way from New York. Stephen A. Smith. Take it away, bud.
The Suns to win this series, and this was, if you recall, a primary reason why that was. Not only was Paul George out, I asked the question, are we sure that Kawhi is going to be available? If you recall, Big Perk, that's exactly what I said to you. And if you remember in 2019, Kawhi Leonard played all 24 postseason games for the Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
Since that time, Kawhi Leonard has played 26 total playoff games for the Clippers. I want to say something and put Big Perk on the screen because I want to see him when I say it.
And why is that, Stephen A? Why has Kawhi only played that many games? Could it be because he has a debilitating knee injury, a degenerative knee injury? Could be.
I don't know how many people are going to say this, Big Perk, but I'm going to say
He's talking to Kendrick Perkins.
Kawhi Leonard should be on the list of one of the worst superstars this game has ever seen. Right, I said it.
One of the worst.
Because anybody that watches basketball knows I'm obviously not talking about his skill.
Obviously.
We know the brother is big time. We know that as a talent, he's a superstar. One who shows up when he plays, I'm talking about in terms of his performance, performs in the postseason arguably better than he performs in the regular season.
Yes.
He is that dude.
Yes, he is that dude.
But when you talk about a superstar that is unreliable, I want somebody to point me out somebody more flagrant than him. You know, you're load managing him all through the season. All through the season. He takes every perk imaginable. Yes, we ain't got to even debate all of this. I'm not getting into all of the stuff that he did to get to Los Angeles and what he forced the Clippers to capitulate to in order to acquire him. I'm talking about unreliability. Now, I know Wilbon, my man Wilbon, and I talked about this. We know that the injuries are legitimate. They're not fake. We got that. I would never do that to him.
Okay, Stephen A. So he is clearly injured, but unreliable. How is he unreliable? Is it because he has to take games off for his knee injury that he struggles to recover from? Because it's not, you even said it's not when he plays. It's not when he plays. He's perfectly fine when he plays. So I'm wondering what the problem is here. Now, sure, you'd like him to play, but you're 4th seed, 5th seed in the playoffs. That's pretty good. I don't seem to know what you mean. Like, I mean, sure, you traded away all the picks. To get him. I get that. That's why OKC has so many first-round picks. They have all the Clippers picks to get Paul George, who... Is this a problem with Paul George? I mean, Kawhi Leonard obviously better than Paul George, but Kawhi has led teams to 2 championships. Let's see what else you got to say, Stephen A.
Or any other player, but especially him. We understand the hard work that he puts in trying to get himself ready or whatever. But when you think about his personality, selling the game, promoting the game, promoting the Clippers franchise,
Kawhi is a brand.
Being available. I don't know about you, Big Perk. I'm genuinely sad. Ty Lue. Every time I look at Ty Lue,
sad for Ty Lue's
face, and I see him looking sad or just looking melancholy or whatever the appropriate word is, the first thought that comes to my mind is, what the hell is wrong with Kawhi Leonard now? Because there's no way he's looking like that if he knows he can rely on Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi Leonard is available. And to see him in Los Angeles coaching this Clippers franchise, Lawrence Frank, you see that organization.
Hold on, Stephen A. Now let's look at Kawhi's last game. They played last night. They lost by 5. That sucks to lose. I'm sure Ty Lue would be melancholy after a loss to their division rivals in the playoffs to go down 1-2. Let's look at what Kawhi did last night. Kawhi Leonard. It all makes sense. I don't know ball. My apologies, Stephen A. This is what happened. For anyone who missed this game, since I'm pretty sure it was on NBA TV and not on national TV, here's what happened. Kawhi Leonard couldn't play last night because of his knee injury. And in his place, Norman Powell, microwave off the bench, put up 42 points to match Devin Booker's 45. They lose by 5 points. You would think having Kawhi Leonard there, maybe they stand a better chance. You know? I think that's where he's coming from here. My problem was, the game's not on TV, and I'm not plugged in last night. I'm not plugged into Twitter, or I don't have NBA TV. Maybe that's the problem. Stephen A. Smith has NBA TV, and I don't. So, I missed the game. Didn't know Kawhi didn't play. I see where you're coming from, man. Injuries happen. Paul George is missing the whole series because of something going on with him. I get it. I don't think your stance of he's the worst superstar, the least reliable superstar the NBA has ever had, it's definitely not. You got to get your clicks. You got to get me talking about it with all the viewers I have. my wide range of an audience. You got to get me talking about it. But I see where you're coming from. A little bit. So, in game 2, though, he's putting up 38, 7, 7, getting steals, getting defensive stops. So that's what he's capable of. He just has this thing that he can't get rid of in his knees. That's just how it's happening. So I get where you're coming from, man. But let me turn this down. I get where you're coming from, Stephen A. But I think we can cut him some slack. There's a lot of superstars that have dealt with injuries and have not accomplished the same thing that Kawhi Leonard has. So I'll leave it at that one. Thought that was an interesting clip to share there. Now, something I saw yesterday that became a bit of a drama, I guess. Mostly a drama on Twitter amongst analysts. So, there was, I think it's Brady Quinn talking about it. The rumor of the Houston Texans being out on a quarterback. Not wanting to draft a quarterback at number 2. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. So, based off of that, Brady Quinn on his podcast is saying maybe one reason is because CJ Stroud was invited to the Peyton Manning, Eli Manning football camp. And last minute, he didn't go. So they're thinking maybe that somehow shows like his accountability, his dedication to the game. I think what we found out was CJ Stroud was meeting up with his Ohio State teammates, maybe for a workout, maybe for something along those lines, football-wise with his teammates. So there was a clip from a guy who's kind of an aggregator. He kind of takes other people's work, much like I'm doing right now, and talks about it for his own gain. And he took a little minute clip from Brady Quinn's podcast. I didn't listen to much more, but apparently Brady Quinn gets in a Twitter beef with Ryan Clark, who works for ESPN, and they're arguing back and forth of like what happened, who's right in this situation, who's like if Brady Quinn is trying to get CJ Stroud into like a character issue that he's not actually a part of, as if he's like the draft day QB Bo Callahan. Nobody went to his birthday. Let's not draft him. So that's something interesting there. But so it's kind of what Schefter did with his report of like it created drama. It's making people wonder, is Schefter like just a mouthpiece for something, for a scheme the Texans have? Or is there some truth to it that Houston is out on anybody after Bryce Young? Because it all came out when it seemed like betting lines, Vegas lines, were shifting to Bryce Young being a heavy favorite to go number 1 overall to Carolina. So it kind of becomes, what happens with the rest of the draft? How does that affect the rest of the NFL draft? Where does CJ Stroud go if not going to Houston? Does Houston trade back with somebody? Because the next available spot is Indianapolis at number 4. The Cardinals just want to suck, it seems. They're fine with being at number 3, taking a defensive player, whoever's best available. A lot of people say Will Anderson. Or do they trade back as well if somebody wants to move up for a QB, just like Chicago traded back with Carolina? It's an interesting situation up there at the top of the draft. And we don't really know what's going to happen. And we only have a week. Less than a week until the first round. Ooh, tough space to land on. Alright, Bowser, give me something good here. Now, Indianapolis, interesting situation there. You have the new head coach, former offensive coordinator of the Eagles that just went to the Super Bowl, Shane Steichen. Known for working with Phillip Rivers when he was on the Chargers. Known for getting Jalen Hurts to an MVP level. So that makes you think, does he go with, like, he's worked with a wide range of QBs. He doesn't have a type, but his most recent is Jalen Hurts, known as a mobile guy, a run-first guy, that he made very good in the passing game. Very accurate. He set career highs in all the marks. So, do you think he goes with someone along those lines of Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, more of an athlete? Now, I think CJ Stroud's a pretty good athlete. We saw him against Georgia show that he has the moves, that he can run if he needs to. His coach, I think, just doesn't want his QBs running, because he knows if his guy goes down, their season's over. They're not going to a national championship. He did the same thing with Justin Fields. Justin Fields didn't look like a runner either until he got to the league, and he almost put up 1,000 yards before he got hurt running so much. So his point kind of stands true. It's like, if you run a little too much, you're going to get hurt, or at least you have more of a risk of it. So that I didn't know that was there. That kind of brings in the question of what Indianapolis is going to do it for. Oh, are we just done when we fall off? Yeah. Hopefully they fall off. And so having the Texans take somebody at 2 kind of puts some pressure on people to move up, because we know Indianapolis wants a QB. We thought we knew Houston wanted a QB. That would be 3 of those 4 that we named. And then someone would have more pressure to get the 4th if they need a rookie QB. That would put some pressure on them to trade up with the Cardinals, maybe to trade up higher. Now you have 2 guys floating around there after pick number 4 if nobody trades. So it kind of becomes, how far do they drop now? Is there, because it's not a scarce commodity if there's 2 of them out there. You want someone to jump up and you get the last one, if that's how it is. Now, if they don't take CJ Stroud, I think somebody really jumps up there, because he's more of a typical passer. I could see that happening. If CJ Stroud somehow makes it past 4, I could see someone definitely jump up quick, go get somebody. One of those good teams, like the ascending teams, who are like, we can move back and take some picks. Maybe the Lions become a trade back candidate for someone who wants to go up and get their QB. That's a possibility. A lot of interesting movement. That could happen here. What else we got? Is there anything more on NFL draft? Let's see if there's anything else people are talking about here. One article. It's possible Ravens will pick QB in the first round, depending on the board. That's interesting. So, who could that be? Based on where they're at, that would probably be... Now, it goes back to our scenario of... let's say Texans really don't take anybody. And, guys, let's say Indianapolis takes CJ Stroud. Rich and Levis might start dropping. So if one of those guys drops, Baltimore might go get him so they can trade Lamar Jackson if they don't want to meet Lamar's contract demands. What the heck is this? Okay. Alright. Play this game real quick. Whoop. Let's go, donkey. Come on. We almost got it. Come on. We can win this. Let's go. How far do we go? I am the champion. Let's see. Does this say anything else? I mean, obviously they would want Richardson or Levis to fill that role. If this report is true and they're looking to grab a QB first round, I think they would take him where they're sitting at, which is about 22-ish. That's their pick. Now, someone who would automatically be there is Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker's a possibility. Now, that kind of gets into a situation of where's his knee injury at? Where's his ACL at? Like, what is that situation for him? Because kind of get into a territory of you don't have Lamar Jackson, you have Hendon Hooker, but his knee's still recovering, and you got to put in Tyler Huntley again. You got to put in Anthony Brown, and we kind of already did that in the playoffs. Huntley doesn't know how tall he is. He tried to dive in from like 5 yards out. You don't really know where that's going, you know? So it's an interesting situation there for them. They just got OBJ, and then he has like a assault charge somewhere. I haven't really looked into that anymore. Let's look at that. NFL, OBJ. What's going on with OBJ? Anything going on with OBJ? I can't find a link to it. Well, anyway, there was a report like OBJ is like... There's like some assault charge out for OBJ. But the real big thing... Oh, they got a star from me? That's messed up, man. That is messed up. That ain't right. That ain't right. So the real big story for an NFL wide receiver today is the 5-ish players, I think, who were caught for gambling and were suspended for gambling. Now, 3 of them, the only one I really knew was Quintez Cephas for the Lions. He's suspended indefinitely. 2 others are suspended indefinitely. Jameson Williams, star rookie receiver for the Detroit Lions, was suspended for 6 games. Oh, come on. Don't hit me. Oh! I missed him. Hit him. Let's go! He's gonna try to hit me. Where are you? Oh, they got me out of there. Okay. So Jameson Williams only suspended 6 games. What I learned a little bit about this, because I've seen some people saying, like, hey, like, give him some more parameters. The NFL needs to give him some more parameters on what they can do, what they can't gamble on. Why would you promote something so much that your employees can't do, that your players can't do? I was seeing a little bit of, there's a rule that you can't gamble in a team facility. Apparently all 5 of these players gambled at a team facility. So I think that is a rule in place that kind of made that suspension happen. And I don't know what the difference is between Jameson Williams and everybody else doing it. I don't know their situations, but that's an interesting thing that came up. It's right after Calvin Ridley gets his suspension. His suspension ends, and then all these guys get in trouble now. That's a big headline from today. Now, fantasy implications, there's been a lot of arguing. I don't know, arguing, but like guessing of where Jameson Williams goes this year. Receivers of his end of season stat line aren't usually very successful in their careers. He had a couple catches, maybe 100 yards, I don't know. But the point still stands, even if someone is injured, their career doesn't really take off if they don't hit certain receiving marks. So what people have been thinking for fantasy, and now this puts a damper on it, is, well, he's super talented, he's highly recruited, or highly ranked as a prospect. Maybe he can overcome those stats, those historical benchmarks. Now this kind of puts that in jeopardy of he's not going to do it again for a second year because he gets in trouble for gambling. An interesting layer on top of that for any of the dynasty, the fantasy football gamers out there, because right now he was ranked very high, at least before today. He was ranked very high as far as redraft and dynasty ranks go, higher than a lot of proven veteran players, receivers. Now, I'm sure this will affect it. I just don't know how much. Oh, I love this game. I used to play this game all the time. It was Mario Party 3. They need to put Mario Party 3 on the Switch, for sure. Oh. Alright, I love this game. Let's see if we can win this one. I'm getting destroyed here. That Wario Piranha Plant just really messed me up, man. Oh. Wario got knocked off. Alright, let's build this up. Hit somebody. Oh, almost got him. Oh, run. Wario really wants to hit me. Or Mario really wants to hit me, I can tell. Yes! I'm the champion. I love this game. Mega donk. That's great. I think we have one more turn. So, unlikely I win this one. I've just not been paying attention whatsoever. So I can get a star. I can get the star if I use my my double dice block. We'll use that. Close this out. Maybe I get some bonus stars and bring it home. Got anything else happening? I mean, just some good news for Cowboy fans. If anybody likes the Cowboys, CD Lamb picking up his option, his 5th-year option. They would have been crazy if they didn't, but they're picking that up, looking at a long-term deal. Sounds like CD Lamb's sticking around for a while. I don't know how long Dak's sticking around. I think he's kind of a borderline, like he could be there for a few more years. This could be like coming up a year or two, and that's all he's got, depending on how they do. I mean, Mike McCarthy got rid of, or I don't know if did he get rid of Kellen Moore? Yeah, he got rid of Kellen Moore, and Kellen Moore got hired like immediately. I don't know if he got rid of him or Kellen Moore wanted to leave, but that happened. So Mike McCarthy might be running out of people to blame for playoff losses, you know? And then maybe Dak follows him out the door. I don't know. Something to think about there. Let's get this item. Let's grab double dice, and we need 8 points. 8 on the dice. There we go. We can grab that star. And I can be just like slightly... Everyone has 2 except me. I mean, I got 1 stolen, so that sucks. I could have been tied up, and Wario would have had 1. That's alright. Oh, did you guys see? Check it out if you haven't seen it. There's a Cubs pitcher. He had a perfect game going through 7 innings. He gets good pitch. Hitter barely makes contact. Barely makes any contact. And it's slow down the third base line. He's running to get it. His catcher is hustling to get it too. Pitcher gets there first. Catcher can't slow down. Ends up tackling the pitcher before he can throw it to first. And his perfect game ends. His no-hitter ends. It's not even like he threw a walk. Just brutal. Drew Smiley, I think his name is. So, go check that out if you just like looking at other people's pain or you want to feel bad for somebody. Go check it out. It's unfortunate. You can just see the exasperated look on his face, like, ugh. Alright, let's see if we can finish this up strong. What, 54.90? Alright, I don't know if I can do that. Come on. Oh, I got. I haven't played that game a whole lot. Alright. Did Wario get a star? I wasn't even looking. So, if Wario doesn't have a star, let's look. First bonus, minigame bonus. I don't think I won the most. So I basically have to win 2 bonuses to get this done. Wario wins it, he's the winner, I'm pretty sure. Second bonus, slow poke bonus. Moved less than anyone. That's probably me. I only went through the star space. So... Oh, really? Daisy moved less? I felt like I was hardly going anywhere. Alright, so I got dead last. But that's how Mario Party goes sometimes. Sometimes you get Mario Party. They send you off. Do they have someone bite you? Yeah, I got dead last. I got third. I'm pretty sure Daisy got second. Yeah, Wario's the winner here. Alright. I kind of like how we did this stream. I was doing a 2K one the other day, and there's just not enough time to like talk through what I'm doing. You know? And it's kind of like, oh, I haven't talked in a while. I'm just playing this game. I'm also awful at the game. So I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit, get something that's a more chill game so I can kind of talk through some stuff, make it a little more entertaining. Tried it out. Tried something out. So, appreciate everybody who stuck around to watch, got in the chat. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to stop right here. Just want to get that out. I hope everybody has a good Friday night, a good weekend. Go check out my videos. I just put up a 2K video early today, or yesterday too. I got 2 videos from the last 2 days. No Money Spent series, and it's my dad's birthday today, so I put one up for him. Go check him out. Tell him happy birthday in the comments. Appreciate everybody for watching. I'll check you guys next time. So, thank you. Have a good weekend.